Alrighty, a very good evening to you folks here on Speed Gaming. Welcome to the next race in the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2021 tournament. We got a good one for you tonight, folks. Tonight we've got MightyCaesar and Koushi showing their skills in a very interesting series of gentlemen's agreements. I'm Captain MD, and tonight I'm joined by 329th in line. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Always excited for some more of this Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer tournament action. Tonight we do have some interesting GAs, as we've got two-way shuffled elevators, 1 to 3 starting items, and all's fair for starting locations. So we could end up anywhere when the seed turns on.
Yeah, there might be a couple of exceptions, like areas that need 4 or 5 items to get out of, like Sky Temple Gateway, for example. But nevertheless, I'm hoping for some interesting stuff to go on here as well. We should be kicking off in just a couple of moments here. But 329, what are you hoping to see tonight from this seed?
Well, we were talking a little bit ago, and I want to be on comms for a Chaika seed at least once. So I'm holding out for Chaika tonight. How about yourself?
You know what? I'll gladly hop in that boat with you on that front. So, although we have not yet had, if I'm not mistaken, our all bosses seed, at least I certainly haven't seen enough discussion in the Discord on days I've missed out on to warrant it.
I feel like there'd be a lot of hype if we had one.
Absolutely. But, so yeah, MightyCaesar and Koushi are both, they both have 1 win each. Koushi is 1 and 2 with a bye. So that's where she stands. MightyCaesar is 1 and 3 with no buys. So they're hoping to put in a nice finish into the into this last week of Swiss. It has been a very entertaining month, I must say.
Oh, there's been some awesome tournament action, and I've had the pleasure of being able to work on this side of things. But even the races, just getting to watch them, it's just intense, and every runner's been putting on a great display.
Absolutely, and we've been seeing runners old and new. MightyCaesar, no stranger to the tournament settings, with appearances in both last year's Echoes tournament and the past year's Prime tournament. So certainly great to see him return. Koushi is a newcomer to the Echoes Rando community, so she's been we've been helping her break in, get all set, and have a good time. And now she's here in the tournament, hoping for a second win.
So I have to ask while we're waiting, where's your pick for a starting location? Just a world, like a...
Or a starting location, I mean, the most hilarious one would be either still in Great Temple or anywhere between Umos and Alpha Splinter. Just to, like, well, not even a difference. Although, another good one would be landing site with Violet Translator in tow. That would at least eliminate some of the sort of slow start if we had a landing site start.
I don't know. I'm getting the Torvis vibe. I don't know where, but...
Well, if we start in Lower Torvis, we're gonna need main power bombs and Spider Ball to get out. For sure, because that's the only way we can get out, because the lasers are blocking Torvis Temple. Demented is random anywhere start. So random room. Could be anywhere. The text only mentions 271 locations, but it actually is 272. Turns out there's a hiccup with Randovania and Portal Chamber in Torvis. It's a little wonky because there's 2 portal chambers. So it's technically 272 potential starting locations. But we'll see how things go once everybody is good to go.
Any predictions or vibes on your end as what might be giving us some trouble tonight? I've seen a couple of races where Supers eludes us for a while.
You know, I mean, if there's anything that Week 5 has taught us, Weeks 4 and 5 have taught us, is that anything goes pretty much, especially, I don't remember exactly which race it was, but we had bombs all the way in the second to last item in the logic chain before keys. So bombs were exceedingly late. And we still have yet to see, as rare as it is, the super missile in Torvus energy controller scenario. Although, it would be hilarious if that was what the case, but we started in Torvus energy controller.
Pretty free. I really want to see Chaika make an appearance. Although 2 weeks ago, I missed last week, but 2 weeks ago we had had the fortune of calming back-to-back Annihilator on Amorbus seeds.
Yeah, Annihilator has been appearing in some very interesting spots lately. For those who may have watched Golub versus Kazuto last night, we actually had we're fairly certain that seed actually was bugged because we still can't figure out how we were supposed to get out of Sank Temple with Dark Suit, because that was the only way we could get into Torvus. So, yeah, really interesting. We're still trying to figure that. We're pretty sure that seed was actually bugged.
Well, we're just a mere seconds away from figuring out the big question. Where are we going to start this race tonight? I think I was sharing with you in the room before we got started here, played a seed over the weekend where started in Torvus, and the logical exit to Torvus was the training chamber elevator. You had to get screw attack across. No spider ball. It was rough.
Oh, yikes. Oh, here we go. We've got main power bombs and seeker missiles.
And an Agon waste start.
In storage A. With bombs. You might as well make that 3 starting items. So, instant power bombs, instant seeker missiles. That is something you definitely want to see. Nice thing about storage A is that the door coming from going out of storage A is an any beam door. What does mining station B have for us? That looks like a light ammo tank. Yeah, MightyCaesar making sure to try and not get seeker missiled here. You can see the seeker switches are in a very weird spot compared to the door here in mining station B.
Seeker missiles with 5 missiles is never fun.
It is not.
But seeker missiles to start is nice because you won't be searching high and low for them. That's one thing.
Yeah, as chat points out, that's not a brilliant save warp location. It's pretty isolated, and there's only one way to get anywhere. And as expected, the next item, because we kind of needed to get out of Mineshaft, is Dark Beam. So we can fight Bomb Guardian. We can get out no problem. We can go check the energy controller. So we have a few options here as we kick things off.
And those bombs also give us access through that main portal room to check a little bit of Dark Agon as well.
That is true. Bombs do let us get in there. Power bombs in general are just really nice to have just because they're great for clearing out some of the early bosses. That Pillbug decided to go on a very wonky pattern there in front of Koushi, but she handled it pretty well. Now, another thing that our runners probably will want to hold off on finding, if at all possible, is Cannonball, because without Screw Attack or Space Jump, there is a slope jump you can use with Space Jump, but it's kind of hard to get out of Mining Station B without taking that cannon. Looks like Koushi has elected to go directly to Bomb Guardian rather than face off, or than handle the energy controller. Gets the nails the power bomb. Is rewarded with Violet Translator, so that is our Temple Grounds access. Well, Temple Grounds in a relative term, as we do have random elevators tonight.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level of what can play into this as far as what's needed to get around.
Indeed. Now, because Mighty Caesar picked up the item before fighting Bomb Guardian, he did have to temporarily deal with a few bees. But still picks up Violet Translator all the same. And went back towards the energy controller for a second. Think might have just gotten a little disoriented. Mighty Caesar gets the power bomb drop from the Shriek Bats. Nice little refill. Koushi also getting the drop. Looks like Mighty Caesar is going to do the angled bomb jump to attempt to visit, to open the door to Pirate Base nice and early. Not a bad play, just in case Light Beam is the next thing that shows up. Koushi, however, deciding to go straight to Mining Station access to get another missile tank. Luckily, this
More missiles are definitely nice to have early on.
Indeed. Looked like a missile tank up top in Mining Station A. It definitely was well camo with the spider track.
Yeah, that is such a tough item to catch on the restream.
Oh, actually, oh no, that's Koushi's HUD display. Never mind. We get our first energy tank in Portal Access A. Nice pickup. Definitely want that for your early Dark Aegon traversals. Every energy tank adds 16.5 seconds of Dark Aether time on Variosuit. So yeah, we've kind of got our runners high-fiving a little bit as they go through this, the nice early Aegon checks. They are quite dense. Quite a lot of checks to make in a short time.
Captain, I feel like you're one to talk for Dark World health management there.
Yep. Admittedly, I am known to play Daredevil. Although, to be fair, I did learn it from Mighty Caesar. We had a case last year's tournament where Mighty Caesar also cut it up close a couple of times, trying to go through Dark World rooms. So you learn by watching, I guess, as the saying goes.
And Koushi doing just that, taking those early bombs to go ahead and open up Dark World, and going to give us a look at the Dark Aegon here.
Well, it does look like Mighty Caesar is following closely in her space jump boot steps. That didn't sound nearly as witty as I thought that would.
I thought it sounded clever. I liked it. You get points from my end, Captain.
No, thanks. But yeah, so a fun fact about this puzzle here is that you only actually have to flip the third sand switch in order to complete the puzzle, as you're going to see Koushi just jump over to the third platform, because you don't even have to do anything fancy. You can literally just jump to it and bust open the third switch, and that's the only one the game considers important. Fun fact, that switch is also vulnerable to screw attack.
I guess maybe... Oh, go ahead.
But it's just has to be hit from a very precise spot. It's a very tricky screw attack hit.
I was going to say following in the lack of space jump, maybe, because normally if you have space jump, you can skip even that first bomb trigger as you can reach that platform, but having to take a little extra time tonight.
Yeah, not having space jump before the Dark Aegon traversal is always a bit painful, especially if you don't have... especially if you have no reason to go check in-cache for a junction site and have to basically go straight to Jump Guardian, because unless you want to do the very tight NSJ around Dark Portal Access A, you have to go all the way around. And what is that up top there? Dark ammo? Yeah, dark ammo. But it looks like Koushi is going to... Let's see what she decides to do here. Looks like trying to get a little extra health. Might be attempting the NSJ. Yeah, getting up this ledge either requires a very tight double bomb jump from slightly further behind, or a 3BJ. take your pick. Looks like Mighty Caesar's just going to walk all the way through. With Dark Beam, we can route an in-cache 4, and honestly, this is I like this. I like the in-cache 4 play just because you will not be able to pick up Junction Site without Spider Ball, but you can at least see it. And to me, just being able to see, wow, first try, well done, Koushi. Just being able to see Junction Site is still pretty good intel, knowing whether or not you have to come back or later.
And just some light ammo for the light beam that we don't have yet.
You love to see it, as the saying goes. But Koushi absolutely nailing the double bomb jump to get to the top of not dueling range, Judgment Pit without space jump. Going to check the broom closet first. Very good play to just get this out of the way now, never have to come back to it later, and you're in an optimal position to go and cheese Jump Guardian.
Yeah, Koushi put it on a great display of some of those bomb jump height, taking advantage of lack of space jump there, but Koushi really showing us how it's done.
Indeed. And the broom closet has for us a Sky Temple key. Well, we do need that.
That's definitely worth reloading the room for.
Absolutely, and we saw that Junction Site contains a red temple key. Could be for just about anything at this point. Little too early to say, as we haven't had the ability to read hints without Amber Translator, or once we do figure out how to get into Temple Grounds.
And Mighty Caesar also showing off some of those double bomb jump strats. Very nicely done. We can kill two birds with one stone here, as we can get a little bit of a health refill from this bubble while we spend our time chipping away at Jump Guardian's health. You don't see the model loaded yet, but the hitbox is definitely there. So when Koushi does initiate that fight, hopefully Jump Guardian is just a hit or two away from being erased for this seed.
Indeed, yeah. A thing that I've learned to do as well is if the rightmost ink pod that you can just barely see on Koushi's screen is still there, I'll angle my last missile to blast it and get them 10 refill. That's a semi-recently acquired tactic I've decided to adopt lately. Just because with 10 missiles, the game's priority missile drop system kicks in, where if you're out of missiles, you have an 80% chance of getting a 10 missile drop. I think it's 80%. It's similar to the 80% chance of getting a 100 HP, 100 energy refill when below 20% health.
It's Big Weld from the robots move. See a need, fill a need, right?
Say that again?
Oh, Big Weld from the Disney movie. See a need, fill a need.
Big Weld, that's right. From, what's it called again? I know what movie
Robots,
you're talking about.
I think is the movie.
That's the one.
Koushi doing just that. Bringing Jump Guardian down to a few lemon shots, but just some dark ammo expansion tonight.
This Dark Aegon play has not provided us with anything particularly noticeable besides a Sky Temple key. So very slow start here as we kick things off. But the defeat of Jump Guardian does do them one favor later, as it does allow the item on the top of the GFMC ship to be revealed and acquired.
And we also have random elevators, so that Aegon entrance exit, whatever you want to call it, could take us pretty much anywhere at this point. So it's tough to say what the next kind of breadcrumb trail is, since we haven't seen much.
Yeah, unfortunately, because we don't have Amber or Emerald Translator, the only two elevators that we can make the absolute greatest use of right now are the ones to Aegon Quadrant and Aegon Gate. The next closest that we only need Emerald Translator to continue on from would be the Sank Gate elevator, because that takes us to GFMC with power bombs until we can escape that no problem, with some minor room reloading shenanigans.
Jump Guardian making an appearance on Mighty Caesar's side.
Now, unfortunately, warping to start would normally be a tactic done here at the end of the Dark Aegon trip. However, given the lousy start placement in Storage A today, warp to start will probably not be used as often as our runners would probably like it to be. Right now, at this point, as Gollop, our tracker, points out tonight, the only thing we can get right now at this point is transport center. You can see our runners have kind of basically met up here in Dark Portal Access A, and they're going to be making their way back to Portal Terminal. Neither of them with any noticeable advantages or enhanced knowledge yet, so still a very tight race as we go into the almost 15-minute mark here.
And it will certainly be interesting to see how in step our runners stay as progression does make itself more available.
Yeah, we could have just another seed where one item constantly leads to another, like in the seed we had, I want to say earlier this week, where bombs were like the 9th item in the chain. Or it could be very spread out in multiple areas of temple grounds, and we may have some divergence soon enough. In Transport Center, we have Amber Translator. This is a fantastic item to be picking up right now because it opens up a singular check in Sand Cache, and it also allows us the 5 Amber Hints available throughout Aegon. So we're finally going to get some intelligence on how this seed plays out. And you can see our runners are basically neck and neck. Look at this synchronized entry into Portal Access A.
Yeah, it's a Sand Cache heavy on the minds for both here.
And practically synchronized kinetic orb cannons too. Although, as Gala points out once again, they did not pass they passed on the portal terminal hint. Although, admittedly, the portal terminal hint is one I tend to miss as well with Amber Translator, just because it's hidden. It's not like immediately visible. It's behind a sand waterfall. And we see Amorbus is guarding a light ammo tank, so Amorbus is half dead. We have not yet seen Mining Plaza, but we get space jump boots. Probably would have been nice to have about 5 minutes ago. Now with space jump boots, we now have labs access, and we can pretty much go the whole way around, all the way to Dark Samus. We do have bombs, we have missiles, we have Dark Beam.
Yeah, and that seems to be what both runners are making the decision for.
Yeah, and actually, I think part of the reason why they are choosing to stay in Aegon so much does have to do with the random elevators mentality. It's a great idea in random elevators to just full clear your areas because you never know when a convenient time to get back to them will be.
Yeah, and not to mention, what we do have access to at this point is very, minus the light beam, very vanilla for this area already. So, definitely helps you make full use, like you said, of that area because you don't know when you'll be back here.
I'm not sure what is in Central Mining Station. It looked orangey like a missile at the very, missile type upgrade at the very least. Could have been supers. Is not currently in logic without Spider Ball or Light Beam. What you're seeing MightyCaesar attempting to do right now is scan the Vigilance class turret and use it as a basis for a scan dash. Does it, nails the scan dash, gets a second scan dash here off the monitor in the back to give us, indeed, a missile tank.
Yeah, gonna have to reload the room to see what the in-cache has. That key bearer does not load the first time around.
Koushi is elected to climb the track from the, or scan dash from the right side in order to not have to worry about that second scan dash. Very well done. But yeah, unfortunately, as you mentioned before, the key bearer is currently not available. We see that an energy tank is in command center.
And Koushi going straight for it.
Usually it's not a bad idea if you have Dark Beam to just go ahead and grab this and then back out later. Just so that way you know what the item is, but you don't have to fight the pirates and open the blast door. And given how little we have got at this point, it's likely Command Center would have something good. But it looks like Koushi's just going to proceed on through and lower the blast door.
Well, as we spoke a little bit earlier, depending on how stingy this seed ends up getting, it's not a bad idea to have some extra energy traversing through dark aether.
Yeah, and 2 energy tanks right now with power bombs in tow and space jump does put Hazing Cliff into logic. Actually, no, it doesn't, because we don't... Well, assuming we find an elevator to Sank Spider side, I should stress, because we cannot access the elevator... words. We can't access the elevator at Ventilation Area A right now, but it's possible that the Aegon entrance or Aegon portal elevators could still take us to Sank Spider side.
Yeah, random elevators just kind of makes the whole logic chain feel it's a big guessing game until you start getting some of that knowledge. Then you can piece it together. So right now there's a lot of what ifs.
Indeed. We'll see if Koushi decides with this setup right now to just go on through and yeah, unfortunately those crystals do require a room reload after they drop, but Koushi may just decide to go back up and go straight to Dark Samus, but looks to be electing to head to Storage B instead.
And Mighty Caesar is going to grab second energy tank on his side.
Yeah, essentially compensating for the one they passed up in Command Center. But yeah, this labs play has yielded mainly energy tanks, which again is not bad, but it's really not what we're looking for at this point. We're really looking for... I think right now the 2 major hindrances are Light Beam and Super Missiles. The fact that they already have main power bombs and seekers already eliminates a lot of hiccups for accessing elevators and rooms later down the road. But Light Beam seals off quite a lot of the game, and Super Missiles are basically the last thing we need until we can check hints.
Yeah, as soon as we find an elevator that gets us to the area where we can access the hints.
Well, even if we get an elevator into the Aegon area of Temple Grounds and Landing Site, without Light Beam, they could still slope jump up a small amount of terrain near the left side of the Crystal Switch, between the ship and the Crystal Switch. Not in logic in these settings, but they could do. The other problem is they don't have a way back from the Dark World yet without Light or Annihilator Beam. We're going to see probably our Dark Samus fight on Mighty Caesar's side. See if Mighty Caesar knows the BSJ standable terrain to do sand processing without boost. And he is electing to give it a shot. So what Mighty Caesar is going to be doing here is attempting to bomb space jump in order to get on top of the turret debris here and essentially sandwich himself in between the turret debris and the wall. What this will do is allow Mighty Caesar to bomb jump to the sand in the back, which is just barely standable after if you can unmorph on it. And in doing so, Mighty Caesar will be able to space jump to the tunnel and skip being able to pick up this item with Boost Ball. Koushi, on the other hand, is electing to turn back.
Mighty Caesar almost had it there.
Yeah, certainly gave it a couple of valiant efforts.
Oh, there don't blink.
Yeah. Something about something, there was a boss.
Dark Samus never wants to hang around. I don't know. Just so rude.
Yeah, never was one for parties. But we find in Storage D a first suit. That's actually a pretty big deal if the next elevator we come out of is the Meeting Grounds elevator. Granted, we still need not Meeting Grounds, Torvus Gate. Meeting Grounds is fine. We can just get out of that with Amber Translator, no problem. But a suit will allow us to get... well, actually, we're not... we need super missiles to get out of that area anyway, so... But yeah, Dark Suit in the Dark Beam location, not a bad spot for it. Koushi is going to end up picking it up just about a minute behind Mighty Caesar here. You know, it's funny. Dark Samus doesn't like being at parties, but as Expo32 in chat also points out, she does like being the center of attention.
Wow.
mean, it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, we're only 23 minutes into this, and this is where we're going, huh? Now, Koushi also happy to find not the dark beam, but the dark suit there at that location.
Now, I don't think Mighty Caesar checked the item here in main reactor or the key bearer. The key bearer revealed it was a life support system, which, assuming light suit is not locking itself, that should just be an energy tank.
And I spy a power bomb expansion up there for Mighty Caesar and doomed entry. Definitely nice to have some more power bomb ammunition.
Indeed, although Mighty Caesar is going to take this all the way to vanilla light beam. This is quite a gamble and a very long duration check. But Koushi has decided dark suit is enough and will be... Oh, I thought she was bound out of labs, but it looks like she's turning around.
Well, I will say that dark suit makes the back dark labs a lot more attractive as far as not having to worry about any of this, then drop over to Battlegrounds.
That is true. However, Battlegrounds we can't access without light beam.
You are correct.
So right now, this is only 2 out of the potential 5 checks that are available in the area. The other 3 being Battleground, In Cache 1, and Feeding Pit, and In Cache 2 technically, but that's pretty late. We probably don't have to worry about that for some time. I say that and watch Annihilator Beam be in Cache 1. Which is going to be pretty awkward.
It is a rare day when I see Dark Suit before Light Beam. Completely forgot we didn't have that.
Yeah, Light Beam is still a major inhibitor, but it's not surprising. It doesn't inhibit a whole... It's not like nearly as big of a beam to miss out on as Dark Beam, I would say. Because Dark Beam gets you into the Dark World for one thing. Which could be... Oh, Mighty Caesar tried to scan dash across this room, but fell down. Just has to find the standable terrain and pop right back out. Night Barbs being annoying as they always are, blocking Mighty Caesar's shot there. Now, if I heard the audio cue correctly out of Mighty Caesar, the item in Feeding Pit is not a key, at the very least. It sounds like it's an item.
Well, not too much of a reward there, just some dark ammo.
Unfortunately, the only way out for both runners at this point is to warp to start, which is unfortunately going to require another walk out of Storage A, but the advantage to this, however, is they both will be able to read the hint in Mining Station B. So at this point, I assume our runners are now going to make a play for the Amber hints. Mighty Caesar just deciding to not bother with walking around the Phazon and just going right through it. If our runners wanted to take a death warp, the Phazon canisters each explode for about 80 damage per canister. So 3 canisters together would deal 240 damage if someone was unfortunate enough to be in such close proximity. Koushi is going to be doing the slope jump to get up top of this. This is something I've actually only semi-recently learned. Or got around to trying out. Because it turns out it's actually really not nearly as hard as I thought it would be to do. But you're seeing Koushi just make mincemeat of it, only being blocked by the Night Barbs. We get our next Amber hint in Mining Station B, which will tell us that we got our first semi-useful hint that... Morbus was half useful. Emerald is 2 rooms from Boost Ball. Very interesting hint. Points to 2 unique items. Koushi is electing to reset here. Which will put her closer to the save station a tad bit faster. She will get this, she will save warp and get the information that that of Emerald and Boost's relative locations to each other. So this brings many questions about where Boost and Emerald by extension could be.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I'm just going to answer a question in chat. We have not yet seen the Aegon entrance elevator. Neither of our runners decided to check it when they made their first run through. So we'll see. MightyCaesar revealing to us that another I think that Morph Ball system in Temple Grounds might just be referring to Boost Ball, which if it is referring to Boost Ball, that greatly helps to isolate Emerald Translator. For example, if Boost Ball is in Communications area, that very likely places Emerald Translator in either TAS or GFMC. And with Space Jump in tow, both of our runners will be able to acquire both items in GFMC, so it does sound like trying to get to Temple Grounds from the sound of it via the Aegon entrance elevator is the ideal way to go. It did say Temple Grounds. We're actually going to get our first look at Mining Plaza here, so hopefully we will be able to see the item inside. A really important item can be found at transmission ends. And that looked like an energy tank in Mining Plaza. I thought I saw the black rings to suggest the edges of an energy tank.
Yeah, I thought I saw some blue sparkles, so I'm going to go with you on that one.
Yeah, if it was a movement system, we wouldn't see that black ring. And Aegon Quadrants. So this elevator takes us to TAS. So this is a perfectly usable elevator.
Well, an Emerald Translator and Boost Ball would certainly open up a little bit here.
Yeah, Boost Ball itself gives us another elevator in the Aegon Portal elevator, and Emerald Translator would give us access from the Torvus Temple elevator through to Underground Tunnel, but we get a Aegon key in Storage Cavern B. Splinter's happily welcoming MightyCaesar to Temple Assembly Site with a nice hug. And I think TAS looked like a missile tank to me. Do you see anything more specific?
No, I thought it was a missile tank or maybe an ammo, power bomb ammo.
Yeah, it's probably
it looked orange.
Yeah, it's probably is a missile tank. Our runners would have absolutely gotten that now if that was something important. Because they have space jump or bombs. Take your pick. Either gets you the item.
Not really too much to divert from here, but Koushi hot on the tail of MightyCaesar, although Koushi is going to show us what was up here. It was a missile tank.
And it looks like MightyCaesar is going to go ahead and try and check the Defiled Shrine key bearer after taking a quick safety save and reload. So yeah, there's a couple of ways to get up this without light beam. You can either do what MightyCaesar is doing and try to stand on this red light between your ship and landing site, or slope jump off of that tiny little hill there that you see MightyCaesar trying to go for. It's a little tight of a slope jump by comparison to others, but it would allow you to check the key bearer without light beam. A cursed lake, however, contains a key, and we're actually going to see another elevator here from Koushi in the Aegon Gate elevator.
And with Bomb Guardian dispatched with, we will get to see Dark Missile Trooper check. So 2 more items down here, living up to the name.
Grapple Beam is an underground tunnel. Well, could that be considered a progression? Not sure, but this elevator takes us to Aegon Temple. This is a perfectly usable elevator, actually. with main power bombs, there's actually an item in there, but Koushi has just gotten light beam out of that elevator item as well. So not only is it a usable elevator, it's effectively the last key to the rest of Aegon.
Yeah, that's a pretty big pickup. MightyCaesar is hoping to find some spoils for himself down here. Unfortunately, it's just back-to-back missile pickups.
Yeah, the Hive Chamber's not really paying out. We're still... we're now just starting to bring the seed to life here thanks to Light Beam. But right now, that only gives us it gives us several checks, but I'm trying to think... Like... I wonder if the next stop... The GFMC push, I would say, is probably next on the docket, but I wonder if our runners are going to push to check the Sank Quadrant elevator. Because the Sank Quadrant elevator is one way only until Dark Visor shows up. So it's a dangerous trek to make. If Boost is in GFMC, then Emerald could either be in Grand Wind Chamber or in Communications area.
That's interesting. Koushi is going to have the light beam when she makes the way towards the ship, so it'd be interesting to see if she gets any information off of that for Defiled Shrine and how that affects Caesar possibly not going back to check that for a while.
Indeed. Now, MightyCaesar is electing to confirm the item in Ventilation Area A, again, perfectly in logic, courtesy of main power bombs. It didn't even need a light beam, technically, for it. But now we can get out of this area back into the rest of Aegon. So we'll see if MightyCaesar decides to take this to Battleground, but it looks like it's another key.
That's our first Dark Torvus key. So the Chaika dream lives.
Indeed it does. It has not been ruled dead yet. Amorbus, I think we can safely rule out at this point, since Mining Plaza is dead.
I'm sorry, Cap, you're not going to get your all-bosses seat.
Doesn't look like it, which is a bit unfortunate, but there's still a few matches to go in this round of Swiss. And, of course, we still have the top 8 brackets, which will most likely be underway probably a couple of weeks after this one, just to give folks a bit of a rest. We'll see. The Defiled Shrine today contains for us a beam-related upgrade that could be Annihilator, or it can't be Super Missiles, actually. But it can be Annihilator. That's about the only unique major upgrade we could want that it could be. Koushi is electing to go take a quick peek at Hall of Honor Dead. This is out of play right now until Boost Ball is found. But nevertheless, a good check to make right now anyways. Looks to be a missile.
I have to say, I do like that play, though. I'm a big fan of watching runners prioritize some knowledge and seeing how that maybe feels a little time-consuming on the front end, but usually comes to pay out in spades.
Now, Koushi is trying to make her way to Meeting Grounds, but she will be blocked momentarily by this Super's door. MightyCaesar now elected to check Plane of Dark Warship, perfectly in logic with Light Beam and Dark Suit. But it looks to be a missile. Is it a missile?
I'm pretty sure that's a missile.
Yep, it's a missile. Was worried the portal might close on MightyCaesar there for a second. But yeah, we're only looking for super missiles at this point to be able to safely, very safely, with 3 E-Tanks Dark Suit check Sky Temple key hints. Unfortunately, the downside to only having the bare minimum to check SDK hints is we're not able to pick up the items in War Ritual Grounds or Defiled Shrine, and it sometimes would be nice to pick those up, unless, like, War Ritual Grounds is like a Sky Temple key, for example. That would be a great key 9, as we call it.
Well, MightyCaesar picking up some more ammo for that light beam that he just acquired.
And there's Emerald
that Emerald.
Translate. Now you beat me to it.
My apologies.
Yeah, that's okay. But yes, this does confirm that Boost Ball is indeed in GFMC compound, either on the ship or in the crate. Doesn't matter since our runners can acquire both. So Emerald and Boost Ball, that's a pretty big deal actually, because Emerald opens up the Sank Gate elevator and Boost Ball opens up the Aegon Portal elevator. I will laugh if these elevators lead to each other.
Yeah, I've seen Seeds play some mean tricks. That's for certain. Hopefully it's not in the crate, just so there's something fun to dupe. And there we go, making me eat my words. But Boost Ball acquired from MightyCaesar.
What would have actually been hilarious if, an Echo Visor on the ship. That might be giving Sank some invitation.
Yeah, we went from having not a lot of options to quite a few options here.
Indeed.
Depends, of course, on the elevator layout, but...
Yeah, MightyCaesar's going to take a quick peek at Grand Wind Chamber. This is currently out of logic without super missiles or screw attack. And we do know where Grapple Beam is. It is an underground tunnel, and we're not sure if we have access to that just yet. That is... Was that a visor upgrade of some kind?
Looks like it might be Cobalt.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, it has... It's a little tough to see. I don't think that Echo looks that way, so...
Well, they have Echo
I'm sorry,
anyway,
Dark
so...
Visor.
Yeah, and usually a clear visual cue is the color of the rings around the visor upgrade. But what MightyCaesar is attempting to do here is attempt another multi-bomb space jump to get up to some standable terrain above this archway. And then, without screw attack, we'll have to probably do some fancy scan dashes to get up it. But it looks like MightyCaesar is going to roll jump over to the terminal fall trigger here and go ahead and check Wind Chamber Gate.
Yeah,
and this item does not require Dark Visor. Wind Chamber itself, I should say.
I thought the rings looked blue. I could just be seeing, convincing myself I can see it, but it looked blue. I'm going to go with Cobalt.
It probably is Cobalt, which if Spider Guardian or Sank Map Station are required, that is going to be a big deal. But it looks like Koushi is instead electing to check the Sank Gate elevator and read the hint, which reveals to us a charge combo is in Phazon grounds.
That could be those elusive supers.
Could be, but it's currently out of logic without either Dark Visor or screw attack. But MightyCaesar is tried to scan dash over to the Wind Chamber item, but did not quite work out. But that is most likely super missiles, because usually the game won't hint at something directly like that unless it's required.
And in the meantime, Koushi's showing us first look at Torvis here.
And indeed, Sank Gate takes us to the Torvis Temple, which is good. We can get right through this courtesy of Emerald Translator. And if we have another important item, looks like underneath Underground Tunnel, which is Grapple Beam, to be fair. Which is still really good for Torvis. That gives us access to items in Path of Roots and Abandoned Worksite.
You know what? I gotta ask, Cap. Maybe, because the restream visual, maybe this is Dark Visor, because MightyCaesar is making quite the push to make sure he can pick this up.
I'm not sure. I need to... I've been admittedly been watching Koushi stream to see what the hints and whatnot might say, but the hint of an underground tunnel also revealed that Gravity Boost is in Torvis as well, so it looks like we've got yet another loaded Torvis, and yeah, I can definitely see from the rings, because those rings are lime green rather than like bluish, so that is indeed Dark Visor.
Yeah, that second look that Caesar just gave us was much clearer.
Yeah, and that could be a big issue, especially since we know Accursed Lake has a Sky Temple key.
MightyCaesar with some really impressive efforts to pick this up. He has been just centimeters away from accurately pulling this off. A very impressive feat.
Unfortunately, Mighty Caesar only has another 15 tries at this.
And depending on what Koushi finds while she's looking through here, it could make this much more easily accessible for her when she comes back.
Yeah,
So,
we don't know if Grapple Beam leads to Screw Attack. Screw Attack is hard required tonight because it is needed for final bosses. Now, we don't know, just to clarify with chat, we don't know if the key in a Curse Lake is Red or Sky Temple key yet. But if it is a Sky Temple key, then this Dark Visor is going to be hard required. If it's for a Morbus, then we don't care. Yeah, the easy way to tell if Mighty Caesar got the terminal fall correctly is seeing where the green Samus icon points to upon respawn, because that's easily visible despite the whiteout on screen. But meanwhile, Koushi's going to check the 2 items in Dark Torvus Arena. A very good play with 2 Power Bombs, Boost Ball, and Dark Suit in tow. And let's see.
And a Sky Temple key hiding up there on the ramp. So Caesar's going to have to make a way through here. Let's see if Boost Guardian has anything that we need as well.
Yeah, so we'll see what strategy Koushi elects to do here. Koushi is electing to wait for the puddle, which is the more safe strat to do for sure.
Well, I wish they would have let me have power bombs to fight this boss in the vanilla game, because this was always my least favorite fight in the game.
This was probably the first major difficulty bump. Whoa, that is Annihilator Beam, folks. Torvus is coming up big for Koushi right now.
It's like Tour Vegas paying out.
Essentially, yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I feel like Torvus is always, that's kind of why I jokingly use that term. I feel like it's always a big gamble, but sometimes it's just stacked.
It has been stacked a lot as of these 2.0 seeds. The seeds are spaghetti your way through Raygon and find all of your Go mode progression in Torvus. Now granted, we're still looking for a couple of major items, namely Spider Ball and Super Missiles. We might need that gravity boost, but the Super Missiles and the Spider Ball are unavoidable right now.
And that Annihilator pickup very well could be required depending on the layout of these STKs. So, not sure yet, but it's looking a little better for Boost Guardian possibly being required this run.
What Koushi is doing here, or what Koushi just did, I should say, is another bomb space jump in order to get into the more early areas of Dark Torvus. And the nice thing about this is this will allow her to just do this full loop and check Putrid Alcove, Cache, and Venomous Pond. Could also check Portal Chamber on the way through if she so chooses.
Get a look here. It looks like another E-Tank. Yep. Not going to be sad to pick something like that up so quickly.
Especially with a nice free 300 HP regeneration.
Yeah, you comment about Koushi with the space jump, bomb space jumps, and even the earlier play, the space jumpless double bomb jumps. She has been put on a great display of efficient movement through this.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, she is getting secret missiled.
It's the best weapon in the game. Certainly optimized.
Is rewarded with another energy tank.
And chat coming up with jokes for the secant missiles.
I'd rather call them Seek missiles. Looks like Mighty Caesar just took a phase-on explosion to the face in that power bomb for, or might have just been low on health from all the Grand Wind Chamber attempts. Certainly cutting it a bit close, though. You know, going back to what I was saying earlier about, I learned from Mighty Caesar from the Daredevil's Delight places, I call them.
Well, it'll be interesting. I don't remember Koushi checking Grand Wind Chamber, so I don't know if she got the same information, but it'll be interesting to see if that time spent comes to catch up on Mighty Caesar somewhere later in the race. He was in that room for, I'd say, about 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, and to be fair, if Mighty Caesar had gotten the Dark Visor, it would have been a major time save, especially considering that doing the Grand Wind Chamber puzzle vanilla is about as long, if not just maybe a tad bit faster than 4 minutes, but even still, it's not a fun time. Although Grand Wind Chamber has not been required an awful lot, at least in the tourney races that I've commentated.
Well, that's for certain. It would have been a huge advantage, but only time will tell.
Now, Koushi did check Portal Chamber while sweeping through to find that it had Dark Burst. And I believe that's a missile tank up there. Now, Koushi is might be looking to just get a power bomb refill through the ammo station, but Cash B will be out of play due to the lack of super missiles.
And oh, go ahead.
And meanwhile, Mighty Caesar is just going to go ahead and do plaza access real quick while it's in the neighborhood.
I was going to say, chat's still going strong with the Seeker missile jokes.
Yeah, we joke about Seeker missiles just because they do have some serious accuracy issues in the Prime games. Not so. Interestingly, the one game that Seeker missiles do appear where they're not that bad is Other M.
Oh, we talk about that game here?
Occasionally.
No, it was not one of my favorites. Oh, and an STK on Mighty Caesar's side. These are always nice to stumble upon before you get the hints because it just saves you some routing later on.
Indeed. The only downside will be is if Plaza itself has a key, because that will force a redive, and you never want to do that. But yeah, Koushi taking full advantage of that Annihilator beam for now to go ahead and just cruise on through these Hunter Ring here, because yeah, Annihilator just breaks the Dark World against any Ing-based creatures. Excuse me a moment.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Dark Torvus cleared out on Koushi's side, but Mighty Caesar making the dive into Dark Torvus for himself. And somewhat of a high five here.
Hey, buddy, high five.
High five.
But yes, now we're going to get to see these upper Torvus checks, perfectly in logic with Boost Ball and Dark Beam. Could have just opened the plaza door as Mighty Caesar did.
And Mighty Caesar again showing off the not afraid of the low health.
Indeed. We'll be rewarded for that low health gamble with yet another energy tank. Now, Koushi, because she elected to turn the bridge here in Forgotten Bridge, does have to deal with some Dark Pirate Commandos as a result, meant to be their first appearance in Vanilla. Little easier to track them with Echo Visor, but unfortunately this fight is still not brilliant. There is a way to pick up this item without turning the bridge and no screw attack. You just have to do a scan dash from the portal. Unfortunately, this door is now locked, courtesy of those stupid pirate commandos. I think that pirate just waved at Koushi at that point, but looks like the item so far nothing coming up so far in this section of Torvus.
Mighty Caesar with the boost Guardian on his side, going to be rewarded with that Annihilator beam.
Oh no, Koushi got sporbed. Feed me, Samus. Yeah, that joke's that's a running theme with Sporbs.
The Echo Shop of Horrors.
Yes. Not that one though. Good one. Little Shop of Echoes. You ever hear the tragedy of Dark Samus the Wise?
That's not a story that Nintendo will tell you anymore.
It's a Chozo legend. But jokes aside, Koushi is going to go ahead and check Great Bridge for us. Just go ahead and quickly open up the cannon. This area itself is absolutely laced. Oh, Koushi decided to not check Great Bridge.
Did Koushi go through the tunnel?
She did not, but there is gravity, and Torvus Lagoon is about to give us something else. I saw the hint. I saw the hint, and I completely forgot where it was. Screw attack. So screw attack was grapple locked. So we can mark that as required progression in Underground Tunnel.
Do you have +1 for grapple beam there?
I do, since it was...
Well, I'm sure that Koushi is pretty excited to see that screw attack show up.
Yeah, and it looks like we had an ETM in Poison Bog. Lovely.
Chat is calling for a Dark Visor required now for that ETM.
Well, certainly, if we always said in that joke hint, be sure to pick up an energy transfer module, otherwise your run won't be validated. But Koshi's elevator in Torvus entrance will take us to, let's see, Sank Quadrant. So this is actually a great elevator to know, because this is, with Screw Attack, we can now get whatever was in Phazon Grounds that was hinted at earlier.
Which I think we
Supers.
I was going to say, we're pretty sure it's supers.
And with Annihilator and Echo in tow, even better, Koushi is going to be able to route in Phazon Grounds. Not Phazon Grounds, excuse me, Profane Path.
And we did see Dark Burst on Mighty Caesar's side, so I think that pushes even more to the idea that supers is hiding out here.
To answer a question in chat, with Screw Attack, we do not need Dark Visor to check Phazon Grounds. And in all likelihood, as we mentioned before, because this was hinted at directly as a charge combo, this is most likely Super Missiles.
Well, I'm sure Mighty Caesar will be making way over here, but in the meantime, it does appear to be supers. Or possibly not.
That has to be supers, though, because the game explicitly stated that was a charge combo, but Koshi's turning around.
It was orange. To the best of my... Again, on the restream, sometimes it's a hit or miss for me, but it did look orange.
Might have been Sonic Boom. Not sure, though. But, no, I don't think that was, I'm more convinced in thinking that was, Super Missiles. Mighty Caesar might give us another look later.
Well, I do have to say I trust the runners because I'm terrible at this game. So I trust them till they give me a reason not to right here. So I'm going to go ahead and believe it wasn't. I wonder if Koushi didn't have the hint for Phazon Grounds, though.
They both, the hint showed up twice.
Okay.
It showed up on both of their screens. The super combo hint, if I'm not mistaken, was a emerald hint. Or either that, or it was the violet hint in Inghive Key and Profane Path. Well, that's something to be profane about for sure.
We already have the backdoor entrance key, the Annihilator Beam.
And Screw Attack for that matter. So, and with Echo Visor, Quad is, once we do find out how to get to Sank, because we still technically don't know, Quad is in play.
And we do see Koushi moving back to the light world here, and chat saying that they're pretty sure it was supers, so that would be kind of heartbreaking, but...
Yeah, and Mighty Caesar did find it was an Aegon key in Great Bridge. So that's our second Aegon key, and we still don't know what the one in Junction Site was. That might be our third Aegon key, which is still looking for Spider Ball.
Oh, go ahead.
Mighty Caesar demonstrating some fancy slope jump and standable terrain movement with that elevator to get the dark ammo tank in abandoned work site.
Well, depending on what that item was, the big push right now in Koushi's favor is she has a couple of minutes ahead of Mighty Caesar as far as places that have been explored.
Shriekbat's being rude, as usual. How's the Seed Semper? It's really not too bad. The only major question mark we might have as far as troll locations is Dark Visor and Grand Wind Chamber, which just got into play now thanks to Screw Attack.
Yeah, I wonder if Caesar prioritizes going back for that, since he was pretty determined to grab it when he was over there to begin with. And there's, I think, our third Dark Aegon key, unless that was the one you saw. Nope, there it is.
The one I saw in Great Bridge was Aegon Key 2. Hopefully Koushi remembers to... Oh, wait, Koushi just got it, so... Okay, good. She did not forget Great Bridge. But yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about Phazon grounds at this point. Now, we do know for the record Amorbus is dead. Amorbus himself contains nothing useful, and Mining Plaza, we are confident, is an energy tank. That looks to be... Oh, I thought it was a Sky Temple key, but it is not. In Torvus Temple. Mighty Caesar, however, decided to go out of bounds to get out of... Yeah, why is Mighty Caesar out of bounds here? Sorry, I missed that part.
I'm going to just come out and say it. I have no idea how any of the out-of-bounds stuff works. So...
Well, I guess while we have a second to explain. So... Every room is essentially in a box where the normal gravity physics apply. Outside of that box is a place, what we call ether, where you slowly rise up. But when you cross the box from ether to normal gravity physics, there is a 3-frame window where you can jump. So basically what Mighty Caesar is doing is crossing in between ether and regular gravity and trying to get a space jump within those 3 frames. As long as you're ascending, you can go as high as you need, but yeah, here you go. This is a more apt example of high-speed, out-of-bounds ether jumping. Now, with her current equipment, it looks like Koushi is attempting to go out of bounds here in Torvus Temple access. Might be thinking about trying to get to Lower Torvus without super missiles here. Let's see. Alright, so Mighty Caesar, I think, is trying to ceiling warp back in bounds. The only... I think the way you have to do this is just let the Morph Ball fall a little bit, like so, and then fall out like so. Because, yeah, in Morph Ball, you just accelerate, essentially just keep accelerating while out of bounds, especially if you're in the wrong room. Because the game thought Mighty Caesar was still in Path of Roots. Now it thinks he's in Great Bridge. Not Path of Roots, excuse me, Abandoned Worksite. Koushi has gotten the out of bounds.
Seamlessly navigating between ether and aether.
Yes.
It's impressive and it's awesome. It scares me a little bit, but it's awesome to watch. And that is just what Koushi is thinking. Skip this super door. Which, Cap, I know you got to be kind of feeling it. She's doing all this work to skip the super door, but we're pretty sure that she just left the key she needed in those super missiles just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, there actually is. There was just a second ago, a conversation in race time. Koushi, I think, is a little bit frustrated with things going on as well. But Mighty Caesar's reply was, at least you didn't just lose a minute accidentally going out of bounds. So I think it's a safe bet that Mighty Caesar did just go out of bounds in Path of Roots by accident. Not Path of Roots, sorry, Abandoned Worksite. I get those mixed up.
Well, it makes me feel better because the explanation, because I knew what Koushi was doing, but I was very confused at what Mighty Caesar was doing. Feels better to know I'm not that out of the loop.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the problem with the super missile hint is that we're not going to see another super missile hint, because each item is only hinted once, unless it's in a guaranteed hint like Umos 2 or Morbus or otherwise. So, unfortunately, Koushi's not going to have any new information here. She's heading back towards Torvis Grove.
Well, keep my fingers crossed that she rereads the hints if she feels very stuck, and possibly sees that and gets some inspiration to head back there.
I'm fairly certain Koushi got the super sync because they both read the same hints between each other.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember where that super's hint was. I do think it was an emerald hint.
If it was an emerald hint, it was either in, I'm fairly certain it was in Underground Tunnel, because the Path of Roots hint was referring to Screw Attack, which was right next door to Gravity. Koushi managed to, usually screw attacking out of bounds is a bad thing, but she managed to screw attack in a way that let her hit the terminal fall trigger and get back in bounds. That's usually very dangerous.
Are you sure out of bounds just isn't magic?
I'm fairly certain part of it is magic, but
Okay.
Mighty Caesar is looking to make a quick peek at Torvis Grove. Unfortunately, Pirate Commando is being rude and sometimes not dying to a missile. That can happen sometimes, although it looks like the tree branch is actually getting in the way there.
Yep, Dark Beam can wreak havoc on space pirates, but cannot destroy a tree branch. Keep that in mind.
Oh, we're getting a look from Mighty Caesar on what's over there, and it's not... Oh, didn't land on the branch. I can't tell the audio cue from back here, so it might be a Sky Temple key. We'll see. But Koushi is heading back to Temple Grounds. Could go towards Phazon Grounds again if she so chooses. Because it is possible to reach it from this neck of the woods.
Certainly hope so. Fingers crossed here.
I think Koushi is just trying to figure out what to do without supers, but hopefully she does turn around and goes to Phazon Grounds now. But Grand Wind Chamber is also wide open, so Koushi may just take a quick pit stop there to go grab Dark Visor.
Yeah, more than likely going to be required. I'm not sure if we've gotten any full-on confirmation about Dark Visor for in-caches yet, but it's a pretty rare seed where it locks itself, so...
Yeah, right now, the main question mark for that Dark Visor would be a Cursed Lake. And we do know, I think Ing Reliquary, Mighty Caesar checked it earlier, Ing Reliquary is missile-related, so it can't be anything important. Super missiles are not considered a missile-related upgrade in a Key Bearer hint. But the good news for Koushi is that Mighty Caesar hasn't gone to Torvis entrance yet, so still doesn't know that Phazon Grounds is right around the corner.
Yeah, well, for all the different time from each runner spent doing some tricks and some out-of-bounds movement and such, neither runner's really gained an edge yet. It's pretty neck and neck. It's going to come down to Mighty Caesar's decisions here, though. If Mighty Caesar goes to Phazon and it is the super missiles, which we're fairly certain that it is, that will be the big determining factor thus far.
Indeed.
That's pretty much going to open it up for Caesar.
Absolutely. And what Koushi's doing now is basically the same trick we saw MightyCaesar do before, but this time she has Screw Attack. So from this point on, it's just a matter of it. Actually, we're kind of see them holding hands here for a little bit.
Yeah, we need a better phrase than a high five for that, because they were just sitting right together. And it is that Dark Visor.
Dark Visor and Grand Wind Chamber. As the audience at home, you love to see it. And with Dark Visor, we can now get back from the Sank Gate elevator. Here's the craziest thing. Despite all the elevators we have seen, we still don't know any ways into Sanctuary yet, although at this point, one of the Torvis area elevators pretty much has to lead to Sank at this point. Because we've seen 4 out of 6 elevators in Temple Grounds, 2 out of 3 elevators in Aegon, and 2 out of 3 elevators in Torvis. So one of these remaining Temple Grounds elevators has to lead to Sanctuary. And indeed, MightyCaesar is going for Phazon Grounds.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty big determining factor here. I don't know, Cap. I'm nervous. I know we're pretty sure that we know what this is.
Yeah, I think Koushi might have just taken a quick stop to like double check a VOD or a video guide to help out with Grand. Nice ink pod defense there. All 3 ink pods blocking MightyCaesar's missiles.
The terrain is not working out. Terrain's not working out for MightyCaesar today.
Missile hitboxes, folks. Yeah, missiles have deceptively wide hitboxes. Ooh, Koushi had the height but didn't get the standable terrain.
Yeah, I thought that one was good for a second.
You know, the echo puzzles in this game, because of just the graphics, always amazed me. Unfortunately, it was for an Inghive key. We still have that third Torvis key that doesn't take Chick out of the question yet, and Koushi now has the standable terrain, but does need to Screw Attack into the box. That's a little close to the right.
So close. And right about that same time, we are going to get this check from MightyCaesar. What's been hiding out at Phazon Grounds?
Yeah, there's no question in my mind. That is absolutely super missiles.
Well, that hurts. Koushi found herself in this room a few minutes ago, and we're going to have to assume thought that it was a regular missile tank because she passed up on it.
All right, that looks better. Oh, but she bonked on the disc. That's frustrating. Yeah, Screw Attacking is so easy to bonk on terrain.
You were talking about wide missile hitboxes. Oh, sorry. No, I was just going to say you were talking about the hitboxes on the missiles being wide. That Screw Attack hitbox is sometimes so tough to manage. Yeah, now MightyCaesar has supers in tow. This is pretty wide open planet for him now. But right, Koushi
does pick up Dark Visor. Sorry, I cut you off. That was rude of me.
No, you're fine. It's so tough on these. But Koushi grabbing the Dark Visor and hopefully heading over to Phazon Grounds. Send the good vibes.
Yeah, with this equipment, we can go check. We can go check hints. Fun fact: this door is vulnerable to Screw Attack for some reason.
I think the developers were anticipating a randomized version of this game, 10 or 15 years down the road.
Doubt it.
Now, I'd be surprised if MightyCaesar does not prioritize hints. We are just about an hour and 15 minutes into this, so
We've only seen a few Sky Temple keys too, so there is still quite a lot to look for. I would wager a vast majority of our remaining keys, I would say at least 3 of them are probably in Sank. And Koushi is not turning right to go to the Great Sacred Bridge, so doesn't look like she's heading for Phazon grounds. And we're going to get to see that accursed lake check from MightyCaesar. This will give us some nice evidence to see if we do, in fact, need Dark Visor today. Which, if we do, I mean, I'm not tracking it, but it is +1 Grand Wind Chamber. We already got +1 Underground Tunnel for Grapple Beam, no less.
And we're waiting on a +1 for Boost Ball Guardian. No, just a red key, but is it the Torvis red key? We haven't seen many of those yet. It is.
It is. We might have to start thinking about Chica here.
Oh, I got to make some popcorn. I'd be so excited. That's what I'm hoping for.
But yeah, if Chica's required, then we still need that Dark Visor. Looks like Koushi's going for it as well, just to grab it.
Wow, chat is hoping for some evil stuff tonight.
As they usually do.
I always try to hold out for a pleasant time for the runners. They're doing all this work to put on a great show for us, and this is what chat wishes on them.
Well, as Digglerath has coined the term Echoes is Suffering last year, in the first round of last year's tournament, no less, I believe. You know, the folks at home, unfortunately, don't mind seeing some suffering. Unfortunately for the runners.
Well, MightyCaesar with a save at the ship. Pretty sure this is going to be those hints.
This is a great place to save, too, because once you're done, you can just go ahead and reset out and yeet right back to the ship. Saves a little bit of time, although I don't think that's going to be the ideal play at this point, since, as we mentioned before, one of these elevators has to take us to Sank.
Yeah, we're certainly running out of options, aren't we?
Well, there's only 4, besides the Sank elevators, there's 4 unknown elevators left. The 2 Temple Grounds ones, Aegon Portal, and Lower Torvis. Since there's 3 Sank locations, even if the Torvis and Aegon elevators lead to Sank, one of those left over still has to be in Temple Grounds, and we can access them both. MightyCaesar, though, nails that instant morph to get out of Hall of Honor dead.
Cap, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we see the elevator at the top of the boost ramp in Aegon? I don't think we had boost ball when we were up there.
Yeah, that's one of the 4 remaining non-Sank elevators I was referring to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and unfortunately, Koushi is following the wrong breadcrumbs here.
Koushi might be heading to the Aegon Portal elevator right now, but we'll see. Nice flinch recovery.
And I definitely feel for Koushi on that super missile. We've had it a few times this tournament, and it's happened to every runner I know, and it's to the best of us, but sometimes you just don't notice it, and it's definitely a spirit breaker. But there's a lot of race left here, and I'd be excited to see what she chooses to do with this.
To answer a question in chat about whether or not this is all dungeons at this point, usually we don't have an all dungeons type scenario in Echoes, but we do have all bosses, and by that we mean the 3 main Temple Guardians, but we'll go back to that in a second as we are about to see our remaining Sky Temple key hints from MightyCaesar.
Yeah, get that pen and paper out. 6 keys to find.
And they are as follows. Battleground in the Incache, or in the thing, so it might be Dark Visor required. That's not too bad, though. That's free either way. Sentinel's Path, so Annihilator and Echo both required. So that does confirm Boost Guardian is needed.
That has a boost +1.
Battleground, okay. Dark Visor, hard required.
They hit you with that 2-for-1 in the battleground.
Torvis Energy Controller, that's free. Training Chamber. It's not nice, but we need Spider Ball, actually. And Warrior's Walk. So we're only looking for Spider Ball. But
that's 3 keys on top of each other. With the Battleground, and Warrior's Walk. That's a third of your Sky Temple keys within like a stone's throw of each other.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, besides Sentinel's Path, there's nothing in Sank. Again.
Well, I guess Sank kind of sunk this seed. Oh, that was bad. That was a bad pun.
It did. No, Sank stunk. Absolutely. But, no, I as a sucker of comedy, a sucker to comedy, I'm all accepting of the bad puns.
That's right, chat. You hold out for Spider on Chaika.
And I'm misremembering my rooms. Training Chamber does not need Spider Ball. Gathering Hall is the one that needs Spider Ball. Training Chamber's free. With Screw Attack.
I always mix up which one is named which. So I was gonna ask, but
Training Chamber is behind the Seeker's Door, third of Lower Torvis.
Yeah, Training Chamber is the movable statue, right, with the elevator behind it. So yeah, that's I don't think we need anything then.
We need Spider Ball for Emperor Ing 2. That's literally it.
Oh. What am I talking about?
And although Spider Ball is needed to get right now to the well, we have Dark Visor Seeker, so we don't necessarily need Spider Ball to get to Sank Vault side. It would be nice, but we don't have it.
I was thinking no bosses with all the GAs that we had.
Koushi is going to go ahead and check Sand Processing for us, which has a missile. And MightyCaesar, if I'm not mistaken, did not check the Meeting Grounds elevator. Now, thankfully, it doesn't matter which Sank elevator we do get here. All 3 are usable. We have a suit that is 3 rooms away from Great Temple Controller Transport. We have not yet seen Great Temple, actually. That's 3 elevators I completely failed to consider. Controller Transport is the elevator between Dark Alpha Splinter and Umos 2, and that was up to 3 rooms, correct?
Yeah, it was up to 3 rooms, so it's
So it could be J-Space. Oh, Temple Transport Amber. That is an unusable elevator at this time. That's unfortunate. Now, so up to 3 rooms means from Controller Transport, it could basically be anywhere in Great Temple, so that tells us nothing. It could literally be in Transport B, A Access, Alpha Splinter, or either of the Umos items. So, yeah, that tells us nothing.
Well, I can tell you if it's Umos 2, we won't be seeing it.
Not unless Spider Ball is Light Suit locked. Which, I'm trying to think if Spider Ball could be in some place like Hive Entrance, and I think it could.
Well, in the meantime, Koushi is, without hints, very fortunately stumbled upon those back-to-back STKs, a 2-for-1 here at Battleground.
All right, well, the other elevator MightyCaesar just found was to Lower Torvis, so that elevator... So Aegon Portal Aegon Portal has to take us to either Sank or Great Temple. We are out of elevators.
And unfortunately, on Koushi's side, the homing feature of the Annihilator Beam giving some trouble.
Yeah, the problem with the Ing AI is that, as you can see, it is not brilliant. But yeah, this presents a routing complication, though, because right now, like we said before, basically our only way out into either Sank or Great Temple is the Aegon Portal elevator, since we've now run out of elevators. Which is not something we see, I mean, compared to the one-way elevator Rando seed we saw, I want to say yesterday, in Op versus Dark Zero. Yeah, quite a different change of pace, where that seed, all the elevators were easy to reach. This one, there's one way to get to Sank and Great Temple, and it's not pleasant. The training chamber elevator is available. We can get to Lower Torvis, but that leads back to Temple Grounds. So the only elevator of the areas we've been to we don't know the answer to now is Aegon Portal. So yeah, Torvis Quadrant leads to Training Chamber.
That's certainly frustrating for runners.
Yeah, from this elevator, MightyCaesar is going to go to Aegon Temple. Now, MightyCaesar took this already, so already has everything. So we'll see what MightyCaesar decides to do here. Koushi is, meanwhile, bailing out of Dark Aegon again.
Well, if nothing else, MightyCaesar may just prioritize those Aegon STKs.
Alright, we're seeing, there's no point checking the key bearer now, but MightyCaesar, the nice thing about both runners still missing an item that has no current bearing is that both runners are looking for it. So they're both gonna, unless they want to gamble, full clear every place they go until they find Spider. Now, if Koushi is going back to Aegon entrance, that'll take her back to Temple Assembly site, unless she chooses to veer left here, which she is not. Our only way to Great Temple or Sank, and by extension the other area, is through the Aegon Portal. That's the only elevator we don't have a solid answer for yet. We also haven't seen Storage C yet, so MightyCaesar's going to take a look, but bonks on the ceiling. Those pipes have wonky hitboxes too. Screw Attack not being cooperative with Koushi here.
And what do we have on MightyCaesar's side? Just some energy.
Now, with Annihilator Beam, Incash 2 is in play. So Incash 2 could very well have Spider Ball. Unfortunately, Koushi is not heading in the direction of Phazon Grounds, so still is going to be missing out on supers. But Golb mentioned earlier and is pointing out again that Koushi has been practicing the abandoned base out of bounds, so we might see that. We'll see. Interesting thing about Metroids is that there's no Ice Beam in this game, but Metroids still do have a very distinct weakness: doors. And Incash 2 might be next up on MightyCaesar's list while doing the battleground checks. Let's see. Now, MightyCaesar did essentially kept the the door open after save warping from in cache 1. So we will see if Mighty Caesar chooses to go back for oh. And yep, Koushi has gone out of bounds.
From ether to aether, as we said earlier, right?
Yep. From aether to ether. Yeah, and now she has to make the game think she's in meeting grounds, which it does now. Oh, but it turned her back into thinking. Yeah, the game has to think you're in the right location. Otherwise, it won't be able to load the other rooms. And if you try to force load, like if, for example, she tried to force load the portal while still in the previous room, that would actually crash the game. Because GameCube did not have good memory.
Yeah, see, this is what makes me nervous.
Mighty Caesar doing some nice multitasking there. Unfortunately, the Annihilator fields ran out, and there's still one ing left. Koushi's now trying to load the room with the portal.
And Mighty Caesar remembering to turn around. Looked like for a second he was going back, but gonna want to grab this down here. It's pretty important.
All right, so what is Mighty Caesar going to do now? Is Mighty Caesar going to check in cache 2 or bail out? Probably check in cache 2 just to be thorough, because again, we're still looking for Spider Ball. That's an unavoidable must find.
Yeah, I feel like it would be pretty risky not to check it at this point, as we haven't had any hints about anything.
I want to stop you for a second. Koushi has come to a full stop here. Might have gotten stuck in the ceiling. Oh, but fell down a little. Okay, yeah. Getting morph ball movement in this area is out of bounds is very wonky and dangerous.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, this makes me nervous.
The biggest problem after this, and it's really just unfortunate that things are playing out the way they are, is that this elevator that Koushi is on her way to is an unusable elevator because it's Temple Transport Amber, unless she wants to go out of bounds there, which is perfectly fine. It's workable. It can be done, but she is going to have to do that if she wants to proceed.
And unfortunately, that Annihilator door was only blocking some more missile.
Yeah, we're still on the lookout for that Spider Ball. Now, at this point, if I were Mighty Caesar, I would probably start playing for hints and seeing if one could point to Spider Ball directly. Oh, Dark Metroid's deciding to have a little feast before being feasted on by a power bomb.
Yeah, the real predator of the Metroid, the power bomb.
You know, it's so convenient that it only takes one power bomb in this game, you know?
Yeah.
Compared to 3 in the 2D games.
As I say, I think it's 3 in Super, right?
It is 3 in Super, yeah.
Well, despite the issues with skipping that item, Koushi is showing some really nice talent to be able to move through the game like this. Making me, scaring me half to death, but very impressive to watch.
Yeah, the tenacity is certainly commendable here for sure. All right, I think Mighty Caesar's just trying to figure out where to go from here, and I think You might have figured it out that Aegon portal might be the next pit stop. But yeah, still no sign of that spider ball. Some extra light ammo to bring it up to 110 doesn't hurt, though. Yeah, MightyCaesar, you don't have spider ball yet.
I think he was living in a world where maybe if he just pressed it enough times, it would cling on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had a moment in a practice seed where I read an Annihilator beam hint, went towards Sentinel's. It was in Sank Energy Controller. Went towards Sentinel's path, thinking I had Annihilator beam. Nope. Just because the game talks about it doesn't mean you have it, dingus. But let's see what MightyCaesar decides to do. Is warping to start, which is not actually going to do a whole lot of good here. Yeah, dingus is like the general insult for Link to the Past Randomizer. It's great. All right, so yeah, Koushi's trying to ceiling clip back in bounds here. Unfortunately, though, she is still in the room, hasn't loaded Meeting Grounds. Loading Meeting Grounds is what makes the ceiling warps possible, or loading the past room, essentially. And I do not remember when her last save was, which is a little concerning.
I'm gonna hold out that she's saved by the ship.
I hope so.
But I don't remember seeing it. I see Gallop confirming. Thank you. And thank you, Gallop, for just keeping tabs on everything, being a wonderful tracker tonight.
Absolutely. Gallop has been an amazing tracker through not only this tournament, but especially in last year's Prime 1 tournament. Pretty sure Gallop tracked like more than half of the races.
Well, Gallop equals awesome. That's an understatement. But yeah, while we're seeing some of this here, please do give a follow to both these runners, MightyCaesar37 and Koushi, both putting on a great display in this tournament here. Very exciting race to watch. But also, if you enjoy what you're seeing here, there are always awesome stuff provided on their channels as well. So you're going to want to keep up and see what they're up to. But also, it's a great way to show support, show some love to these runners, and just let them know how awesome you think all this stuff is. So go ahead and do that.
And if you want to get into this or any of the 3 Prime randomizers, because we now have randomizers for all 3 Prime games, thanks to Prime 3's randomizer recently coming out in November. Also thanks to Gallop.
See, Gallop equals awesome. It's going to stick.
But yeah, go ahead and check out the Discord, as there's plenty of tips and tricks for getting set up, learning tricks, and everything you need to know to enjoy the randomizers.
And I have to... Oh, so I was saying I have to throw the shout real quick because I still see the link in there. Also give a follow to Captain MD13 because it would just not be as much fun to be hanging out here by myself. So doing awesome. Thank you.
Now elevator led us to Sank Vault Side, which means the only way we can proceed through Sank is by going up aerial training site to aerial training site via staging area, which Echo Visor and Screw Attack let us do. But looks like MightyCaesar is going to break some logic here and just Screw Attack up to Transit Station. Again, I'm pretty sure this is currently out of logic because, well, technically, now that you can Screw Attack up aerial training site, you could just go all the way around. Except that the game expects you to defeat Spider Guardian before going up Dynamo Works. So I'm fairly certain that anything between here and Sank Spider Side is currently out of logic. Spider Ball is certainly not going to be here. It might be in Hazen Cliff.
I do believe that Koushi was successful in reloading that room.
She was. And rather than doing a boring morph ball puzzle and waiting on an elevator for who knows how long, she's just going to go out of bounds and go around.
She's at it again.
And this will actually allow her to skip the superstore to go check key hints.
Well, I hope you've been getting some hype in chat for Koushi's work here. This has been some awesome movement, especially our out of bounds work. But even earlier, right from the get-go, Koushi was using double bomb jumps and things to navigate through a pretty stingy opening to this seed. So I better see some hype in chat for Koushi here.
Oh, unfortunately, that quad just blew open the pad that Mighty Caesar needed to get to that power bomb tank. So looks like Mighty Caesar's just going to give up on it. But let's see where Mighty Caesar decides to take this at this point. We are still missing Light Suit for Hive entrance. We do know where Light Suit is. It's somewhere in Great Temple. 1 in 5 chance it's on Umos 2.
And Hazing Cliff.
Light
What's
ammo.
the payout?
No, Cliff, stop. Oh, I'm taking you with me.
Living up to its name there.
Yeah, we call that Dark Metroid Cliff. But yeah, for whatever reason, if you drag Cliff, once you void out, Cliff just disappears.
It's a real cliffhanger.
Not really, since Cliff's going down with you.
They're never gonna let you and I together again for these puns.
I more consider Cliff a cliff diver.
Well, while we're over here with our nonsense, Mighty Caesar is continuing to make some progress here. We're gonna get, I believe, another new elevator information here.
Yeah, this elevator has to go to Great Temple. It can't go, it literally cannot go anywhere else. And it's a usable one too, TT Violet. There we go. We finally, an hour and 40 minutes in, have proper access to Great Temple.
An hour and 40 minutes in, you're gonna see the Dark Alpha Splinter. That might be a record. And
It's
Koushi,
definitely up there.
Koushi able to get through, again, just amazing movement through these out-of-bounds tricks. And Koshi's going to get a look at her Sky Temple key hints here.
And the item up top in Transport A access is an energy tank.
And that's why he's called Cliffhanger. What show is that from? It's from a show when I was a kid. Like, I think it was called Read Between the Lions. It's like a PBS show. Sorry, chat is tugging on my nostalgia heartstrings here. Yeah, Between the Lions, 329th. Yep. Yeah, and here comes, like you said, pretty late appearance here.
Yeah, there's still 3 item checks left in here. Oh, it looks like 2 splinters were not in the power bomb explosion. And I think Mighty Caesar... Okay, Mighty Caesar does have 1 spare, but can't use it on Light Alpha Splinter because then won't have any for Dark Alpha Splinter, where it's much more usable. A Super Missile I do think is enough to trigger the... immediately trigger the Dark Alpha Splinter.
And if you were here earlier, you saw Dark Samus and the Boost Guardian get evaporated by power bombs. Pretty sure you have a guess of what's going to happen in this sequence right here.
Instant deletion for a missile. Well,
It's looking better and better for Umos too.
There's only 2 items, 3 items total, and 2 of them are available. So we'll see. This is the room the hint was referring to. So again, up to 3 rooms, could be anywhere in Great Temple. So that hint really did tell us only that Light Suit was in Great Temple. It could have just said that. Then I think that's the Light Suit. The aura looked a little too big, and it is. Hey, look at that, vanilla Light Suit, and we didn't even have to kill Quad.
Certainly worth the time to pick that up and get a little information for the road. Hey, look, a progressive suit.
Thanks, game. Can we call that a vanilla suit? Because it technically was Great Temple main energy controller.
I don't know. I feel like it's French vanilla at best. I don't know.
The good news is
it's the same spot.
Yeah, the good news is Spider Ball can't be. And by the way, we know this last elevator here has to lead to Sank entrance, Temple Transport Emerald. MightyCaesar is going to learn that this elevator leads back to Torvis Gate. The elevators this seed, I will agree with Xbro. The elevators, especially for this seed, are absolute trash. And where is Spider Ball? Oh, Koushi is turning around and going in the direction of Phazon Grounds. Yeah, because Koushi now... Oh, wait a minute. What was that underneath? Was that an energy tank or was that a ball upgrade?
I didn't see. I was looking at Koushi's side to see if she heads to Phazon Grounds. I do see MightyCaesar doubling back, though.
Oh, passing by again. Oh, no. Koushi's missing the Phazon Grounds.
I see chat saying it looks like an E-tank here.
Chat saying it was an E-tank? All right. I can double-check the VOD in a couple of minutes. Oh, you know where Spider Ball could be? Fortress Transport Access.
Spider Ball on Chaika.
I mean, it's absolutely possible right now.
It's certainly possible, but rather unlikely, I would imagine. There's a lot of other places where it's probably better suited.
It's most likely in Lower Torvis at this point, if I had to really hazard a guess, somewhere in Lower Torvis.
Well, Gallup pointing out, depending on where Cobalt turns up, it could be vanilla.
That is very true. We could have a vanilla Spider Guardian.
Yeah, the elevator layout, though, like you said, is just... It took a kind of rough seed or kind of stingy seed and just turned it into a pretty awful seed.
Yeah, because the only way into Great Sanctuary, and by extension Great Temple, is to go to the Aegon Portal elevator, go through a part of Sank, and then go to a Sank elevator. So, no good way, no easy way to route in Sanctuary, especially if you warp to start. All right, Koushi is going back into Dark Torvis. I don't think this can yield anything beyond this point. Fortress Transport Access here. It is light ammo. Where is the Spider Ball? This is bothering me now.
I guess you could have Spider Ball in Sank Map Station, keep the Cobalt dream alive.
Oh, jeez.
Chat is just wishing up some untold horrors. I can't even look at it anymore. As they say, we can only hope.
You get used to it after a while.
Well, it's a real shame if you're just joining us or if you've been catching up a little late. Koushi had a decent couple of minutes, I'd say at least a 5-minute lead on MightyCaesar at one point, as MightyCaesar had a little bit of trouble with Wind Chamber trying to grab the Dark Visor without... I think he didn't have Boost Ball at the time.
Screw attack.
Screw attack, sorry. But unfortunately, Koushi passed up on super missiles that are sitting in Phazon Grounds. She did go over there, and I guess it just looked a little bit too much like a regular missile expansion. So that has kind of been the difference maker here. MightyCaesar did not make that same choice, grabbed his supers, and has been able to make progression. But even still, with this terrible elevator layout, we are still searching for Spider Ball and possibly Cobalt. It depends on where Spider Ball ends up being.
At this point, I would assume Spider Ball is... There is still one proxy hint left, because I think there's a grand total of 3 proxy hints in the pool, and we've already seen the radial proximity hint, so there will be an exact proximity. We haven't seen any red key hints, actually. We've seen hints throughout the course of this seed, but we haven't seen many of the guaranteed hints. The only guaranteed hint I think we've seen so far is a Morbus.
I'm gonna agree with you. I don't think we've seen anything else.
And we know this is a Sky Temple key, so let's see what this hint tells us. Spider Ball is in vault. Seed over.
And just like that, in a moment, my dreams of Chaika fall to the ground.
Yep. That is going to be seed over, and that effectively puts Mighty Caesar in go mode. Mighty Caesar can absolutely get the Gathering Hall key without... not Gathering Hall, Training Chamber key without Spider Ball. And then after that, it's just go and get... the combination of Sentinel's Path and just grab Spider Ball on the way out, essentially. Unfortunately, the only way to get to Sanctuary Vault side is to go through the Aegon portal.
This might be the one time where the warp to start may come into play here.
Yeah, it actually would be more effective for Mighty Caesar to warp to start at this point, after grabbing the I get Gathering Hall and Training Chamber mixed up so many times. It's easy. I mean, it's not as bad as Prime 1, but it's still easy to forget stuff. But get this, Koushi is going to out of bounds for Cash B. Which is a missile tank.
Well, I've said it a few times. Oh, I think we're about to say the same thing. Go ahead.
She has not been out of bounds for long either. Ooh, she just did the yeet down to get to under Temple Shaft. You can see there's the door that would normally be in... it's essentially the way down from the elevator to Lower Torvus in the Light World, but the door is still there, technically, so if Koushi plays her cards right, exactly that. She's just loaded under Temple Shaft from Cash B. Very well done.
Yeah, since Go, Koushi has been putting on a clinic for out-of-bounds movement and some of the other skips earlier in the game. Double bomb jumping, just without the space jump. Really impressive play on Koushi's side, and I don't think we can overstate it at this point. It has been awesome.
I think we may have found our last Torvus key that is an Inghai, but unfortunately at this point it doesn't really matter since... At this point, it doesn't really matter since, words, MD, can you use it? It doesn't really matter since we know where Spider Ball is.
So it's nice to see on Mighty Caesar's side that you don't have to try to clear the whole room. I played a seed over the weekend where this was my logical access out of Torvus. And spent a hot minute trying to figure out how to... make it all the way across that room and thread the needle.
Yeah, it's not an easy needle to thread for sure. But, yeah, Mighty Caesar's back to meeting grounds. Yeah, unfortunately, Mighty Caesar's about to find out, yeah, the only way you're getting into Sank is through the Aegon portal. Yeah, he's about to come across the realization that none of these elevators are workable.
If you're real quiet and you listen closely, you can hear Mighty Caesar let out a scream for choosing this elevator GA.
And if you listen closely, the scream sounds like... because it's the elevator sound. Any of you who have played one-way elevators to anywhere know exactly what I mean by the frustration of that sound.
I feel like the more you think about it, like watching Caesar go through the map, the worse it gets. This is a terrible, terrible elevator layout.
Yeah, because where Mighty Caesar's going right now, Sank Gate doesn't lead back to Aegon, I don't think. No, Sank Gate leads to Torvus Temple. Sank Quadrant leads to Torvus Entrance.
And unfortunately for Koushi, we just got the hint for where that spider ball is going to be hiding out. So the one big hope would have been maybe Koushi stumbling upon it, doing some of these extra checks before Caesar. But fortunately, we're not going to find anything useful down here.
No, Koushi is trying to go for that energy tank in Under Transit 1. Does get it. MightyCaesar, what are you doing back in Phazon grounds? There's nothing in Ing Reliquary.
Oh, and as I like to call them, the Sonker missiles. Going ahead and not opening the door for him there. Gets it on the second try.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what MightyCaesar's trying to do here. And unfortunately, you can't exactly... I'm about to eat my words in a second, aren't I? Never mind. I thought Koushi might have thought of some crazy way to get out of that cage without opening it beforehand, but not the case. The cage in the Dark Beam side in Dungeon, on the other hand, is pretty easy to just fall out of.
I don't want to cut you off in the middle of this. So Caesar opened the ink cache and then I almost could feel that step back he took of confusion of what that was. Just a missile tank there. Yeah, I wonder if just a mix-up of key locations or...
Well, MightyCaesar... Did MightyCaesar save scum the hints? I think so. Because I don't remember seeing MightyCaesar walk out. Yeah, we're gonna have a very interesting interview here, to say the least.
Well, it's certainly making for a fun race to watch. That I will say.
Absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately, the unfortunate thing is that Koushi is nowhere near super missiles. Given where they are, like a warp to start would help for sure, but looks like she's instead going to go and check Under Temple.
Yeah, I was thinking that when MightyCaesar backed up on that missile tank and just kind of hesitated for a second to gather himself, I thought it's a shame Koushi's not closer. Because if she could stumble upon the supers, you know, it's obviously MightyCaesar's built quite a lead here, but it would certainly put her back in the running to be making progress and maybe narrow the gap a little bit.
MightyCaesar says in the race time, definitely didn't mix up two rooms. Koushi got the energy tank in under for Alpha Blog. Not okay. Guess we're having an Alpha Blog fight. Looks like though she will be preparing the BSJ to get out.
I was gonna say, with the movement that Koushi's been showing off, I highly doubt we'll see this fight.
Yeah, it nails it first try.
It's just awesome to watch. She's been doing a fantastic job. And MightyCaesar finds himself back in the Grand Wind Chamber, a room of that nightmares were made of earlier.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, the elevators are just so bad this seed. Like, again, for those just coming in, the only way to Sanctuary right now is the Aegon Portal elevator. That is literally the only way our runners from anywhere else besides Great Temple can get to Sanctuary, which Great Temple is only available otherwise through Sanctuary. Although, I think Mighty Caesar opened up the Temple Transport Amber door, so Mighty Caesar can now get back to Sank through Spider's side in Emerald, on the Emerald. Actually, the Emerald side is going to take him to Sank entrance. The other Violet elevator is going to take him to Sank Spider.
I'm really surprised that Caesar didn't just take a warp back to start. Especially with, I mean, it's definitely not ideal and you got to dig yourself out from the mining station B side of things, but I don't know. It's kind of right there. Although granted, I appreciate Mighty Caesar's comment of a room name mix-up, because if you've ever heard me calm, that's pretty much all I do. It's mix up room names, so I can totally understand Mighty Caesar.
Yeah, I think a great brain teaser, if you do want to get into learning room names, is to occasionally the proxy hints refer to room names you're not used to, but also one-way elevators anywhere. Can take you to rooms that, because there's 119 items, and there's not that many cases in Echoes where there's 2 items in a room. There's only like 5, maybe? It would take a bit more time to do the counting in my head, but that's still 150 rooms that do not have items. So, it's very likely a random elevator will take you to a room you're not familiar with.
Well, despite the horrible elevator layout, Mighty Caesar does indeed find himself in Sanctuary.
Yeah, now unfortunately this is Sank entrance, which means the fastest way to vault is literally the longest possible way.
Also, I think Gallop wants in on the bad puns that we were making.
Pirate Commando's playing a little bit of havoc here with Mighty Caesar, but thankfully Mighty Caesar does have 7 energy tanks. Not a whole lot of missiles, but plenty of energy tanks. Ooh, the Phazon canister detonation did not kill the pirate. I think you need the detonation from 2 canisters to do it. Now, this cage that Koushi's in, as I mentioned before, you literally can just jump to the side and down you go. Worst cage ever. Well, Koushi is reading some more hints. That's the Dark Visor hint for a major upgrade in Grand Wind Chamber.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we got a Supers hint like you said. It was, we kind of already had one.
I don't think it's possible at this point because there are no unique items in that section of Sky Temple grounds. And unless you're playing like that one-way elevator seed of Dark Zero versus Op 82 where there was nothing, there was only like a 9-item chain in the entire game and not a whole lot of items are required, the hints are most likely going to be pointing to unique items this seed. Because yeah, we needed a lot of items today. We needed all beams. We needed Echo and Dark. We needed Spider and Boost. We needed Supers and Seekers. Well, Seekers we got for free. Gravity we needed. Grapple we needed.
Yep.
So, and that would be a red key, which at this point I think is an Inghive key. Yeah, Mighty Caesar is going to try and skip this spider track, which if that can be done, Mighty Caesar will be in business. And it is indeed an Inghive key in Transit Tunnel South. Oh, but Koushi did just find Sunburst in Training Chamber. Oh my God, Gathering Hall. One of these days, I'll get these rooms right.
Cap, there's no shame. We've been doing it all night.
Even still, one of these days. We got our Umos 2 hint to reveal that it is dark ammo. Next to light suit.
I was going to say, Umos 1 more than makes up for a bad Umos 2.
I mean, it was technically still vanilla light suit? Question mark? It was in Great Temple main energy controller.
I don't think chat was letting you have it. MightyCaesar over-rotating that a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, by the way, this Seeker's door in Hydro Dynamo Chamber is just so stupid. More often than not, a missile's going to go careening off of one of the targets.
I'm telling you, it's the Sonker missiles. But Koushi is going to pick up another STK here. She's making the right moves because she's prioritizing areas where she knows she can pick up those long-term progression. And like we've said a couple of times, has been kind of wheeling and dealing her way through some out-of-bounds stuff to be able to get to these locations.
Yeah, there's the... Oh, Torvis has the third Torvis key, which I think we found already. So, it might be someplace else. But yeah, this is going to be the Sentinel's Path key for MightyCaesar, which is key 9. But MightyCaesar's last item of the seed will indeed be Spider Ball. It'd be hilarious if Cannonball was in Sank Energy Controller.
These are very cool gates, as you mentioned earlier.
Now, all right, so Koushi is bailing out of Torvis, which, and this is a good elevator because this will take her back to Meeting Ground, so she'll be back out of the super missile territory. So a momentary sigh of relief here. But yeah, Spider Ball and Vault is, given the elevators, lousy. Because the only way up to this area was to go through staging. Well, you could either go through staging area or go all the way around Sank. Take your pick.
Well, the great gift and treasure of the Chozo is definitely worth it.
Fun fact, these Resbit spheres you see are actually vulnerable even while they're on the ground. Like that. I think if you collide into one, especially with Cannonball, they do still just disappear.
It's so funny to watch this puzzle done with the intended, with the item that you would get for this and how much easier this item makes this puzzle.
Absolutely. Yeah, Screw Attack absolutely breaks the Screw Attack puzzle in half. How convenient. Koushi electing to go out of bounds once again here in Meeting Grounds. Unfortunately, the item is a little higher up than the Morph Ball would allow.
Yeah, but at 2 hours and 7.5 minutes or so, MightyCaesar37 has hit go mode, and we'll be heading over to those final bosses.
Now here's the next $1 million question. What's the fastest way to get there? Because a save warp would take you to Storage A, which is miles away from Aegon entrance. But it's not too far away from Aegon Temple, which would take you to the Aegon side of Temple Grounds. Looks like Mighty Caesar's just going to taking the vault side elevator here will bring him back to...
I cannot remember where the vault elevator came. Okay, yeah. Which is not much faster than a save warp.
Yeah, no, there is no good way to deal with these elevators. Luckily, Out of Bounds does seem to be a good job of keeping Koushi from being pestered further by bees. Oh, you know what? Mighty Caesar's just going to take the Sank entrance elevator. Or go to the save station and... But wait, didn't Mighty Caesar skip the quad fight? No, I guess this doesn't have that many unintended consequences. Never mind.
I mean, I think the real takeaway from this is there was no good option. It was kind of a pick your poison.
Exactly. Because from here, this goes back to Great Temple. And Great Temple either takes you to the other side of Sank or... Torvis Gate. So that's actually fairly close to the portal. You want a Torvis an elevator to either Torvis Quad or Torvis Gate. Temple Transport Amber will take us to Torvis Gate. So that's how Mighty Caesar will end this seed.
Well, Cap, with your bees comment, I think we've officially lost chat at this point.
Yeah, there we go.
Go ahead.
Mighty Caesar just getting the idea, and 1 second. Yeah, Koushi, she mentions in the race time, she knows she's out of logic right now because of this whole super missile kerfuffle.
Yeah, see, the bee puns have... chat has officially lost it.
I mean, if chat's entertained by them, then I'm doing my job. That's all I care about.
Hey, you make a good point, Captain. Well, Mighty Caesar, I'm sure, is ready to put this seed to bed, so to say.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it was a long seed, but it didn't require... Well, it required Boost Guardian for Annihilator, obviously, but it required no major temple bosses. We're not even going to know what Chica had at this point.
No, what made the seed so long was first of all, the stingy opening. Very hesitant to give us any major progression. But then...
Yeah, Dark Aegon and Labs was junk. Like, that's not very common, especially for an Aegon start.
I was going to say, chat, the B puns are at least a B+. Come on.
Yeah, Zeruvian got the point of that one.
Yeah, beat me to it. And Mighty Caesar is almost there. Go ahead and deliver these final STKs and get this end of game sequence started.
I'm not sure whether at the end of this is going to be a blessing in disguise for Koushi, because she mentions already in the race time that her mind is blown by the whole super kerfuffle, but it would have been worse with the elevator setup. So she'll be spared the mental torture of having to figure out the rest of that nonsense.
Honestly, I'm sure it's frustrating for Koushi, but it's been very enjoyable to watch her get in all this practice of these different strats and out of bounds stuff, and it doesn't even look like practice from where I'm sitting. Great execution on a lot of these tricks, has maintained a very entertaining run despite the frustrations.
Yeah, and ultimately with the way the tournament standings are going to come out, Mighty Caesar is going to go up to 3-2, which will basically bring his tournament brackets life down to tiebreakers. Koushi is going to fall to 1-3 with a bye, but I don't think, that's not going to be enough to make the brackets beyond this point, unfortunately.
I want to confirm quick on something. I think you said 3-2. I think it's going to be 2-3 is what you told me earlier. MightyCaesar was 1-3.
Oh, you're correct. Yeah, MightyCaesar's 2-3. So they're going to be 2-3 with this. So yeah, actually, I take that back. Yeah, neither runner is going to make it to the brackets at this point.
Yeah, because with the bye included, that's a matching record for Koushi. But nonetheless, 2 hours and 13 minutes in, Emperor Ing is making an appearance. Get some hype for.
Sorry for my numbers misinterpretation there.
No, I wanted to confirm that I had it because we talked earlier and I wrote it down. But get some hype for the coolest track, in my opinion. Coolest track in the game, the Emperor Ing fight. Very nicely done, MightyCaesar, grabbing that one cycle on phase 1.
Yeah, doing so with supers as well, which is easier said than done for sure. Generally, Annihilator spam is faster, but super missiles also work if you don't get lasered.
And 5 power bomb count is not bad to go into this with.
All right, so Koushi has found the Temple Transport Amber elevator and has stopped once again. Might be looking up how to do Temple Transport Amber out of bounds. We'll see.
And that is phase 2. Emperor Ing, phase 3. All that's left to go as far as the Ing are concerned.
Yeah, so MightyCaesar, as we have seen throughout the entirety of this tournament, going to be everyone's screw attacking into the edges of the legs due to a in development leftover, I guess is the best way to describe it. Emperor Ing was originally going to be to have special shields on his kneecaps or legs that were vulnerable to screw attack. They were removed in the final version, but the hitboxes for them and their attachment to the main health pool was not. Unfortunately, Emperor Ing is being very uncooperative here with MightyCaesar.
But nonetheless, MightyCaesar is able to take Emperor Ing out and is just a Dark Samus fight away from wrapping this up. Yeah, for all things considered, for that kind of finicky phase 3 there, it was a pretty good fight on MightyCaesar's side.
Yeah, it certainly adapted quite well. But now it is time for Dark Samus 3/ maybe 4, so MightyCaesar is going to try and deal the equivalent of 302 damage, and then following Dark Samus's enhanced phase-on beam attack, will attempt to use either... Oh, that's 2 power beam shots. That's not going to do. That is going to be instant centering. Yeah, 304 damage, unfortunately throws her into Dark Samus 4. So it looks like what Koushi is trying to do here is exactly that. The Temple Transport Amber Secret World. Now with this, Koushi will be able to get around the slight block and reach Temple Sanctum.
I think what I've loved the most about Koushi's run has been every time she hits a spot like that, she'll stop, check up the video on how to make sure she got this right, and then she's not even worried about it, just goes right through onto the next one. Very impressive indeed. I think Dark Samus is just making up for how quick we made her leave earlier, right?
Most likely. And Koushi does have to transition the room here to proceed here, so it looks like she's trying to find out where the ether box is. Now, the thing about the Dark Samus 4 fight, while we still have another minute, because Dark Samus 4 is going to be Dark Samus 4, is after getting hit by a super missile or any phazon pellet, you do flinch. But you are immune to flinching again for about 30 seconds. So it is possible to intentionally take a flinch, and then that'll serve as a backup plan in case the phazon pellets decide to not cooperate. Now, another thing is that Dark Samus' health is low in particular, and while she is descending, if you shoot her with a phazon blast, it might cause a health regeneration. It's still kind of random what triggers that. But this should be the last shot. Dark Samus should not be coming down again. And that should do it.
Get those GGs in chat.
MightyCaesar will finish in first place with an official race time GG time of 2:18:34. And immediately joins us in the booth, MightyCaesar, GG to you.
GGs.
So, how about those elevators?
Did you know that 2 out of 3 sanctuary elevators prefer to be linked to Great Temple?
Exactly. So, but no, you're in all seriousness, though, your thoughts on the seed?
Logically, a lot of backtracking. I wish that I hadn't wasted so much time trying to go for the screw attackless Grand Wind Chamber.
Yeah, I saw you.
Because I've never practiced that before. I got the BSJ almost every time, but...
Yeah, we saw a little bit of trouble with that. So, that attempt at Dark Visor earlier did put you behind a bit, but unfortunately, and we saw your conversation in the race time about this, Koushi looked at phazon grounds and we think misinterpreted supers for a regular missile tank.
Yeah, I almost did the same thing, and then I realized, wait a second, no, the model with the 5 pixels I can see is slightly different than a normal missile. The thing's hiding.
Yeah, with supers, I think the vertical stripe is the key. The other thing is that supers were hinted in a charge combo was hinted in phazon grounds.
I don't know if I got that hint before that.
I think you both did. I want to say it was the underground tunnel hint, but I'm not 100% sure.
I thought that said that a beam-related upgrade was there.
No, it said a charge combo.
Yeah, I'm not.
And then
I'm not too
I
sure.
spent a long time trying to find Spider Roll because I've never practiced EI2 without Spider. And if I had just gone and picked up my Sky Temple keys immediately, I would have found that hint.
Yeah, the hints for the most part, once you finally got out of Aegon, were actually quite useful. How about technically vanilla light suit?
Yeah. Because I don't think I got a hint for that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's nice. And then I mixed up, what's it called?
Reliquary.
Yes, for some reason I thought that Sentinel's Path was that room, when no, it's not. There was also the fun moment when I accidentally fell out of bounds.
Yeah, we saw that. We were confused for a bit, but then your race time chatter confirmed what happened.
It's funny because I regularly talk about how stupidly easy it is to get the secret world there, that it happens on accident to me almost every time. Except usually I'm able to just morph back into the tunnel if I do it. But this time, I morphed and just got repositioned off to the left.
All right, we are joined in the booth by Koushi, who has entered a DNF. Koushi, GG to you, fantastic movement performance tonight.
Thank you. So I think you know what I have to add.
Yeah, so you're not gonna like this.
All right.
Supers were in phase-on grounds. You looked right at them.
Oh my god, I thought that was a missile. Nice.
Yeah.
I say it's a little worse because you had about a 5-minute lead at that point.
Oh no.
So
Yeah, I spent about 10 minutes trying to get the dark visor without screw attack because it's possible, but I just kept on messing up the bend on the dash.
Can we at least appreciate how many out of bounds related things I did to skip supers?
And we really do want to compliment you on that. And in all seriousness, like we were very impressed by the amount of movement knowledge and tricks that you did show for us, despite the super missile kerfuffle.
Yeah, I second that. We commented a few times, but a lot of times in a race like that, it can get a little. It's kind of hard to watch. You know, a runner keeps looking around after they've missed something, but you were putting on a clinic, very entertaining and impressive to watch. It's just awesome out of bounds movement throughout the whole thing.
Now,
yeah, I couldn't find supers, so then I just started doing everything I could think of to avoid it.
Now, for this, if nothing else, you have been spared some ridiculously stupid elevator logic. The only way into Sanctuary was through the Aegon Portal elevator, and both of the other Sanctuary elevators led to Great Temple.
Well, conveniently, I just got to Great Temple.
Yeah, you came in through the Torvis Gate elevator and did the out of bounds, but the other two elevators to Great Temple are both in Sank.
Yeah.
So, and besides supers, the only thing you had to look for was Spider Ball, which was it was hinted at in Vault.
Oh, of course.
So it was in Sank Vault side. So yeah, you had to go to Aegon Portal to get into Sanctuary. Technically, Great Temple actually wasn't required.
I kept looking everywhere, and I'm like, I know Great Temple has a billion checks. Where is it? But, wow, that could have been a whole different race. Wow.
Yeah, Captain and I were debating if maybe you were spared having to deal with that.
Great Temple and Sank were hiding inside of each other.
Basically.
Nice.
Although once you did get to Great Temple, at least you can open up Temple Transport Amber, and you had a way into Temple Grounds from there. But yeah, the elevators, specifically for getting to Sank, because again, the only two things you needed in Sank were Spider Ball and the Sentinel's Path Key. That was it. To be fair, but even still, getting to Sank was probably the biggest challenge of the seed.
Dude, I was so excited. I'm like, yay, look, I made it to Great Temple. There's a ton of things I can check here. And then there's that door right in front of me, and it's like, well.
What's funny is when I went to Sank the first time, I almost went through I almost decided to do the spider skip that I did at the very end. But I'm like, well, that's definitely out of logic. So probably not worth it. I hit the
point. Honestly, if you went out of logic, you could have spent time there with me. I went so far out of logic, I'm not sure how I could have gotten back knowing that I had skipped Super Missile.
Yeah, because sure, I could get to the dark side of the why can I never remember the name of the room? But yeah, there wasn't any logical access to the upper side of Sank at the point that I first went into Sank. So I'm like, okay,
well,
maybe Sank just won't be necessary.
Well, Echo Visor and Screw Attack does let you get into upper vault side via the staging area.
Yeah, but I didn't know where the staging area was yet.
You just had to Echo Visor the
No. I know how to get there. I hadn't looked at that elevator yet.
Oh, you hadn't looked at Sank Vault's elevator. Okay. I'm sorry. I might be just misreading you. That's completely on me.
Yeah, so I didn't. Or had I?
What you
No, I had peeked in there beforehand and I forgot about it because I'm like, well, I can't really do anything in here intentional. Or no, I came in through vault side, and I forgot about the normal way out because, let's be honest, the last time I've heard of somebody leaving there the way that you're intended to without spider ball was when I think DCR did it, like round 2.
Might have been. I mean, ultimately, you did find a way around it, and it ultimately let you finish just short of 2 hours in-game time.
Yep, 1 minute short. But yeah, I should have been able to finish like 30, 40 minutes before I did. If I had just been like, okay, let's hope I'll run into Spider Ball along the way of picking up these last few keys.
Shout out to
So where was Spider Ball?
It was in
Spider Ball was in Vault.
Oh yeah, sorry, you said that. My bad.
And the hint for it was in Torvus Energy Controller.
Oh. So did you get supers before you even went to Torvus?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, I did not.
No, because you need screw for it. Yeah.
So shoutouts to Underground Tunnel Grapple Beam actually being progression.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
Sure, it was used for the whole one
boost.
check.
But, yeah.
And Boost Guardian not being a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Koushi, you going early for the Boost Guardian play definitely looked like definitely looked promising with that Annihilator beam pickup.
I know. I was all like, oh, I can't wait to go to Lower Torvus with all the Annihilator doors that I can check there. And then Super Missile.
Yep.
I honestly, the only reason I didn't take that path down is because I didn't know how to transition the elevator there.
It's a bit finicky.
Yeah, that's why I just went, Dark Torvus Temple, fell down onto the misplaced door, and then entered Dark Torvus Bog.
Yeah, you use the Cash B transition instead, which again, that's something we've rarely gotten to see in this tournament, so it was a treat for us getting to see that done.
Hey, at least I put a show on.
The other thing is we're trying to remember which hint pointed to the charge combo in Phase on Grounds. We can't remember if it was the one in Underground Tunnel or the one in, it was probably the one in Fortress Transport Access.
Oh, can open up a
Did we ever find Sonic Boom? I know I found Sunburst.
No, we did not.
Damn. Could have been all beam combos.
Yeah, Dark Burst was in Portal Chamber, Sunburst was in Gathering Hall, right? Yeah.
Yep.
It was the other one, Cap, whatever the other.
Yeah, the one that doesn't have the Sky Temple key.
Yeah. When I first saw the item in that there was an item in Training Chamber, for a split second I'm like, oh no, I need Spider for this too, but it's like, wait, no, this is the other room.
I was just desperately checking hints throughout Lower Torvus too, because it's like, please just tell me where super missiles are. I would have been pissed, but at least I would have been back on logic.
The unfortunate thing is, every item can only be hinted once unless it's on a guaranteed boss, so because of the Fortress Transport Access hint already pointing to the charge combo and Phase on Grounds, there was basically no chance to
it's
get
considered a charged. Oh
yeah,
my god.
It's you're not the first to be thrown off by this. It threw me off when the hints changed too, but supers and beam related upgrades in key bearers are considered charge combos.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh, and Seekers is considered a missile related upgrade.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so unfortunately, there was not going to be another hint for supers after the charge combo and Phase on Grounds hint.
Dude, I was like, I could have sworn I had a hint here, and you're telling me it's a missile expansion? Well, that sucks.
Well, if you
Oh no, I did get a hint for Light Suit. It was in Path of Eyes.
Yeah, and that hint was basically just, it could have literally said Light Suit is in Great Temple, and it would have not made a difference. Because literally every check in Great Temple is 3 rooms away from Energy Controller Access, because that's the elevator leading up to Umos.
Hey, at least I have the cool looking suit.
So Fortress Transport Access is where we got the charge combo hint.
That's the one.
Well, Koushi, that kind of puts the picture together a little better because we had that hint knowledge, and I guess, with Cap saying about the hints, that we knew it was going to be supers. And when you walked up and turned around, Cap and I were scratching our heads because we're like, it's got to be supers. It has to be, because we didn't get a good enough look at it on your side either. So,
oh my god!
And then we just figured when Caesar comes over there, and like it has to be it because of the hint information. So that helps paint a better picture. That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's a bit of an unfortunate one.
I also can't believe I fat fingered the power beam an extra time on Dark Samus 3. I've literally never done that before.
Instant centering. That's not the first time we've seen that happen in this tournament either. It happened earlier this week, I think.
I thought we had
if you have an later, it's 25 shots and then one power beam shot. And of course, I managed to double tap the power beam shot.
Yeah, final boss is on the seed.
That would have been funny for me to go to Sky Temple and be like, oh, it's not the end of the game. Well, GG's. That was a good one.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna go kick myself all night because that super's hint, but that was a good one.
With the entertaining run you put on, all those out of bounds stuff, a lot to be proud of. It was very impressive and enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, it's a good thing I practiced all of these. I do quite like these tricks.
Yeah, there was a lot to love from both of you about these runs, this run tonight, for sure.
Well, if there's one thing I can be glad about is I really showed off my consistency with BSJs and roll jumps. I don't think I missed more than 3 the entire run.
Oh, that's pretty good. I swear I collected so many energy tanks as well. I'm pretty sure it would have been impossible for me to die. Like, how many tanks do I have here?
Probably 8 or 9, I think.
Because I just got 2 more tanks. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 10 tanks.
Yeah, like I'm on, 7?
There were a lot of E-tanks this time.
Yeah, the E-tanks weren't so bad today. Like the Dark Aether long runs were a lot more bearable today. The Dark Suit was in a relatively respectable spot too.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the only major progression item from the backside of Aegon, all things considering.
So was the Torvus Energy Sky Temple Key the freebie or Chica?
It was freebie.
Damn.
The energy controller itself is only one item.
Okay. It's Umos who gives. Okay.
Yeah, the only
It's only
the Great
Sync
Temple
Energy
item,
that
sorry.
can.
The Great Temple item, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Great Temple light suit was the freebie one, yeah.
I was really hoping we could have Chica, but
no so are we.
I mean,
even with the fact that we started with Seekers, it's like, oh, let's just go Chica.
Nope, no Chica for us.
Yeah, although to be fair, light suit was kind of vanilla, I guess. I mean,
same room, different check.
Cap, you are pushing for that vanilla light suit tonight.
I am. I mean, it's the same room.
Chat wouldn't let him have it when it started. They're going, oh, no, French vanilla at best.
But how about mentioning the Jagger mentioning Kralis? How'd you think about Storage A being your starting room today?
It was interesting. I was like, man, I hope that Koushi knows how to deal with the kind of janky speaker lock here.
I saw that. It had 5 missiles, and I was like, oh, God.
You both did fine on that.
Yeah, if that wasn't a foreshadowing of things to come.
Yeah, but ultimately, bosses weren't required, but yeah, the elevators definitely dragged the seat out for sure, because yeah, again, only one way into Sanctuary, which you had to go to Torvus to get Screw Attack and Echo Visor first before you could, Echo Visor was on the ship, never mind, but you had to go get Screw Attack before you could logically get up staging area from Sank Vault side, so even though the Aegon Portal elevator was available pretty early, you still needed to go all the way to Torvus for Screw Attack first, then go all the way back.
Caesar, you should rematch me sometime. We seem pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it would be fun to do another race sometime.
Yeah, except we'll force a start in Inghive.
Oh, jeez.
Well, even there at the end, when Caesar picked up, was it that last STK and the spider ball? Cap and I were talking, like, how do you even get back to where you need to be? There was no good route to pick, and so it was.
I mean, the route wasn't that bad to get back out.
Even warping to start would have required 2 elevators.
Warping to start was what I was like. I think that would be maybe a minute slower.
Actually, warping to start would have taken 1 elevator, but 1 elevator is on the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, is there anything else you two would like to say about this seed before we close out for tonight?
I hope chat had fun watching. Sure, I missed Super Missiles, but that was still fun to play.
They had a lot of fun, and believe me, we did too. And yes, Chad, if you have not already, please give both of these runners a follow, as they have put on a magnificent show for you here tonight. And we also want to take a moment to shout out Gollop, our wonderful tracker tonight. They have done a wonderful job making sure everybody knows who has what. And 329th in line, thank you for joining me here tonight in the booth.
It was an absolute pleasure.
Be sure you follow the commentators. Don't cut yourself out of this. You have to sit there for what, like 2 hours, 15 minutes? Give yourself a bit of credit.
Plus post commentary and sometimes pre commentary.
True.
But really just massive props to every commentary team and our trackers. They do some great work. And they also play some great Prime. And
maybe you'll still hear from the rest of us if we're commentating some other races, so you might not be done with us. You might not be done with us yet.
Well, for lack of a better pun, I will echo Cap's words. The both of you made it very easy to enjoy watching the stream tonight. So GG's to both of you, and thank you for awesome performance.
Yeah, we will be back tomorrow. We've got 3 races queued up for you both Thursday and Friday. The next match on Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m., we have Bellator versus Diceron to determine who will go into the brackets undefeated. Because they are both, this is the only 4-0 match of the tournament. So this will decide who goes into brackets with a perfect score. That is a race you do not want to miss. And then,
didn't that exact same thing happen last tournament? The 2 of them at perfect win rates?
They might have. I don't have last year's challenge in front of me, but they are both definitely top of the class runners, so they will be putting on a great show for you on Thursday afternoon. But if that's not enough, 7:30 p.m. we have Bash Prime versus Chaotix and Jagger G versus Innerslice 30 minutes later at 8 p.m. all Eastern time, all on channels to be determined right now. But stay tuned to the SpeedGaming schedule, and we will let you know, or that schedule will let you know when those matches are set to go live. With that said, thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next mission.
Good night, everyone.